اوكي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين، واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم my beloved ones ورحمة الله وبركاته. It was a long time. The circumstances did not allow us to continue, but inshallah we are going to continue the manasik al-Hajj, and we are on the prohibitions of ihram, things which are prohibited in the state of ihram. We are discussing the 20th prohibition, and that is covering the face for women. Okay, so we did covering the head for men, now covering the face for women. So covering the head for men is prohibited. Covering the face for women is prohibited. So if you open your Manasik al-Hajj in Arabic, ruling number 266. So Sayyid Sistani Damadullah says, لا يجوز للمرأة المحرمة أن تستر وجهها بالبرقع أو النقاب أو المروحة أو المروحة أو ما شابه ذلك، والأحوط وجوبا أن لا تستر وجهها بأي ساتر كان. So there are two areas in this ruling. Area number one, which has been narrated, okay? She should not cover her face with burqa. You know, burqa is like the thing, like this kind of cloth. You see, women they cover, so it's a see-through, so people cannot distinguish their face, okay, and they can not. So this is called burqa. And niqab is this, like the eyes are obvious, but so they wear something, they wear a niqab, but goggle niqab. That means the eyes, they're open, so I mean the area of the eyes. Because what happens sometimes, people, women, they get claustrophobic or whatever phobic, niqab phobic or whatever phobic, so it gives them, it becomes difficult for them. So what happened, they make an opening, so at least the eyes are exposed. So, and some said opposite. The burqa is the one which is like this, and niqab is like that. But anyhow, both of them, they cover the face, except for one of them, the eyes are exposed. The bottom line is the face is covered. So, or mirwaha, you know, like Japanese people and Chinese people, they have this fan. So they cover their face with fan. You cannot cover the face with fan also. أو ما شابه ذلك, or whatever is similar to it. On the basis of obligatory precaution, والأحوط وجوبا أن لا تستر وجهها بأي ساتر كان. Whatever concealing object, she is not allowed to use it to cover her face. A paper or anything which conceals the face. لا تستر وجهها بأي ساتر مهما كان. So why here we have ahwat wujuban, obligatory precaution, and why they have fatwa? Okay, then so the narration did not mention this mirwaha, at least to the limited knowledge I have. But anyhow, even if he had mentioned, but then this أو ما شابه ذلك, or whatever similar to it, isn't a paper similar to it? So why on the this is on the basis of obligatory precaution? That is fatwa. The thing is that those are normally used by women globally. In some places this, some places that. There's some places women, they cover their face with burqa. Even Westerners, when they have funeral, I've seen many funerals of Westerners, their ladies, they wear this niqab. Okay, and so these are things which are used normally to cover the face. Fan also. It's a Japanese or traditional culture that the Chinese or Japanese traditional culture that they cover their face. So this is used commonly. But if something is not used to cover the face, okay, like for example, let's say if someone wants to cover the face with tissue paper, this is not used to cover the face or fun. So that's why this is obligatory precaution. Let's say if someone wants to cover her face with the book, okay. I'm not doing the advertisement of this hotel or something like that. Let me, okay. On the basis of obligatory precaution, no, don't cover your even with the book or anything which is not urfi. The purpose, it's not used as a purpose of covering the face. Piece of paper, okay, um, laptop, or the iPad, you see, like covering the face with the iPad. So all these are not urfi things which are used by women to cover the face. So that is why this is as an obligatory precaution. One should not use this in that case. So that is number one thing that then there's another precaution. Another precaution is let me bring this down. It's creating issue. Okay, so okay, so you got this about the difference between the things which are commonly used and things are narrated and things which are not commonly used to cover the face. Okay, now it's clear. Yeah. What more? There's another obligatory precaution in this case, which is والأحوط لزوما أن لا تستر بعض وجهها أيضا. What about if partially, if the head is exposed, the eyes are exposed, like nose, like mask? Is this obligatory precaution? No. What about COVID? Like you want the women to become sick and die, and the guys are using, mashallah, the masks? No. You will see that the ruling says if the case was necessity to prevent sickness from this COVID, for example, or let's say the gases of the car, all those exhausted gases of the car to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning and all those kind of things. Yeah, in that case, it is permissible. We are going to go through it. But initially, the thing is that they cannot cover their face, okay, with anything which normally they cover, and on the basis of obligatory precaution, any other, even those things which are not used to cover the face, you cannot cover the face through it. What about partially covering the face, like mask or wearing niqab from here? Okay, like burqa or niqab from here. Again, that is also on the basis of obligatory precaution, not permissible. كما أن الأحوط لزوما أن لا تستر بعض وجهها أيضا. نعم يجوز لها أن تغطي وجهها حال النوم. So while she's sleeping, yes, she can cover her face. Okay. But while she's awake, no. While she's in the state of ihram, obviously. ولا بأس بستر بعض وجهها مقدمة لستر الرأس في الصلاة إذا لم يتيسر لها ستره بإسدال ثوبها عليه. So basically, it is, like when the women, they wear hijab, so there is no fine line for hijab, so they have to just stretch their hijab a bit down on their forehead as an obligatory precaution or as a prerequisite to cover the face. So will that be something which is going to be permissible to cover parts of the face? Because it is to cover the hijab, you need to bring some extra from the. He said that even from the sides, like hijab should be, for example, here. She brings it a bit like here, a bit in front, just as a prerequisite or as a muqaddimah, just to make sure that the original part of her head is not obvious. Okay? So, yes, that's why he says that ولا بأس بستر بعض وجه مقدمة لستر الرأس في الصلاة إذا لم يتيسر لها ستره بإسدال ثوبها عليه. Yes, if she can bring her dress and put it like this, okay. So what happens? She had covered this head part which she was supposed to cover. So hijab, she can wear a bit up, hijab, and then she can bring any cloth and cover. So basically, the forehead has been covered totally. Okay. So this is something which he mentioned in this ruling. Ruling number 267. للمرأة المحرمة. Okay, now you say hijab is important, hijab is wajib, and then you say she should not cover her face. Cover her face means like the thing niqab touches the face. You see? Let me just see this niqab is touching the face. Burqa is touching the face. You see? There's no room between the face and the cloth. The fan touches the face, all these things. So if you are able to or if a muhrima is able to wear like a baseball cap and wear something which see, if even in amama, you see there's a gap between the forehead and the cloth. This is permissible. So she's not covering the face, yet she is observing the hijab. So you will see around during the tawaf, there's women that are wearing baseball caps and this niqab or the burqa is coming from up niqab like that. So it's far away from her face, yet nobody can see her face. Now, when I took some of the youth to a tawaf, oh, we have a women baseball team. I said, oh, they're wearing baseball caps and there's a niqab for it. So they did not know that this is a technicality to yet the niqab is not touching the face, yet the face is covered for the hijab purpose. Some ulama, they say covering the face could be a wajib, obligatory precaution. If she does makeup and if she paints herself and does paint job on her face, so then the niqab becomes necessary because then she has a beauty on her face. She needs to cover. So that's why if they do these kind of makeups, okay, and then they will be among the non mahram men or those who are not permissible, I mean, not permissible, non-relative men, then she's supposed to cover her face because this has become a beauty. Her face, she has beautified her with some paint job. So anyhow, so this is what we are mentioning here, that if she had to wear burqa for any reason, hijab reason, any other reason, she can wear it, but she can keep it far away from the face. Uh, So here says للمرأة المحرمة أن تتحجب من الأجنبي. A muhrim woman can wear her hijab. Okay, you can cover her face um, from a foreign man. Foreign man means like a person who's na-mahram. Na-mahram, we mentioned that someone to whom she can get married to. Like, for example, husband of the uncle, husband of the paternal uncle, husband of the maternal uncle. Sorry, not husband of the paternal uncle, husband of the paternal aunt and maternal aunt. She can get married to them because after they got divorced, obviously, like potentially men who are potentially qualified, that she can get married to them, any men. So that is why they are considered na-mahram, non-mahram. That means potentially they qualify to be her husband, but they are not her husband. So she wants to do hijab. So how can she do that? She's not supposed to cover her face. He says, بإسدال ثوبها على وجهها, to bring the dress of hijab or the veil, bring it down so that it covers the face. Um, such as example, such as بأن تنزل ما على رأسها من الخمار. This is khimar, the one which is covers the head of the women. That is khimar. Okay, so she brings part of her hijab down in a way ما يحاذي أنفها, until the nose. So let's say this is the khimar, I mean the hijab. She brings this down to the level of her nose. So the mouth area, like half of her face is uncovered, half is covered. Okay, my bel nahraha. She says rather, some fuqaha they said here, he said for me, rather she can bring it to the neck. So like totally to the neck. Let me cover the whole face. Cover the whole face. So she can cover the whole face. Okay. She can cover the whole face as long as um, uh, but rather nahraha. So as I said, Sayyid al-Khu'i and other scholars, they said that she needs to keep it away from the touching the face. But Sayyid Sistani Damadullah disagrees. Okay. Wal Avhar, he says she doesn't need to like wear baseball cap and keep it away from the. This was the opinion of other scholars. He says, Wal Avhar, more apparent to me is عدم لزوم تباعد الساتر عن الوجه بواسطة اليد أو غيرها وإن كان ذلك أحد استحبابا. So it is not necessary for me, in my opinion, apparent to me is from the narrations and from the religious texts. The apparent thing which I can understand, more apparent. Others, they understood apparently. For me, more apparent, most apparent is that they don't have to push it away from the face. No. والأحوط والأظهر عدم لزوم تباعد الساتر عن الوجه. So more apparent, it is not necessary to push or to keep a distance or to push it away, to keep a distance between the veil and the face through the hand or anything else, even though it is recommended precaution. Okay. وإن كان ذلك أحوط استحبابا. Ruling number 268. So what if she covers intentionally, deliberately her face? No problem. She needs to do istighfar. Ask Allah, because she was deliberate. Is there kafara? No. Some said there is kafara, which is a sheep, but it is not proven to say this Sistani Damadullah. Okay, so that's why he said كفارة ستر الوجه شاة على الأحوط الأولى, based on the recommended precaution. Okay, so this is all what Sayyidi Sistani tells us about what? About the ruling of covering the face for the women. Now, now let's go to the area of the rulings. Okay, after understanding the concept of covering the face, the question and answer, they have a lot of repetition. Okay, so question number one: هل يجوز للمرأة المحرمة أن تلبس المقنعة لستر رأسها علما بأنها تستر مقدار من الجبهة والأطراف والذقن، وهل يجوز لها ستر الوجه بالعباءة ونحوها? So the question is it permissible to wear the makna? Now you know this makna, it is maqna'a, then, or miqna'a, from qina', from mask. So makna is mask. The problem is that this makna, which she covers the head, the hijab or the scarf, which is stitched. She just has to wear it on. This is the difference between shela and makna and hijab. So these are different terminologies. The women, they know it best. Why makna is makna, and why is hijab, and why shela is shela. I think the way I understood, the shela is a long cloth, like dupatta, they call it, like 2 meter cloth or 1.5 meter cloth. They wrap it around and around, and that is like a shela. And it's basically a thin cloth, so they wrap it around several times, so it hides the head and hair and parts of the face. And previously we mentioned that the ruling said that if she wants to wear hijab and she wants to cover a bit of the head for as a prerequisite and a bit of the cheeks for the prerequisite purpose, it is permissible. So here we have this so the question is, what about maqna? That means miqna'a. That means the thing which they don't have to wrap it. Hijab is a bit thick cover and a shorter veil, I mean cover, and they wrap it around in a specific way. Makna is a, just say, ready-made hijab. It's just like a stitch cloth. You just slide it over your head, and it covers the hair and the face. But this makna, sometimes it is a bit more than whatever is required to be exposed for Hajj. You know, it's like more inside. It's like it shows a little bit of the face. This makna, especially Iranians, they wear this kind of makna where only the chin is covered as well, the part of the chin. So the questioner asks Sayyidi Sistani, and he explains what is miqna'a, so Agha can understand. هل يجوز للمرأة المحرمة أن تلبس المقنعة لستر الشعر علما بأنها تستر مقدار من الجبهة? The definition of miqna'a or makna is by the questioner is like this. But if you have a makna does not apply with this, that's fine. So this is the way the questioner has asked. بأنها تستر مقدار الجبهة, makna normally comes a bit below than hijab. But if your maqna is not, then that's fine. If your maqna is in the level of hijab, that's fine. We are talking here in this ruling, the miqna'a or maqna, which is covering a good number of the forehead, significant amount, miqdar min al-jabha, wal atraf, and the sides also. If the woman's hijab is here until the edge of the ear and she exceeds it a little bit for the prerequisite purpose, but maqna brings all the way to the end of the chin. If your maqna covers like a hijab, you're good. But if your maqna is the way the questioner is asked, way in the zone of the face, like the beard area is covered. Okay. والذقن. So forehead, sides, and ذقن, the chin. وهل يجوز لها ستر الوجه بالعباءة? Can she cover her face with her aba? You see, like what happened. The aba is like this. So let me just see if I can just show you. So aba is, women, they were like this. So can she cover her face, like bring the aba further down? I don't know if you get the picture or not. So here it's until the nose. Okay, until the nose. If you can see, it says until the nose, it can. And for those maraja who say there has to be distance, also if you wear baseball cap and you bring the abba all the way, so is it permissible to do like that for a woman, to just, instead of wearing the abba here, to wear her all the way down to cover her face? So answer, لا يجوز لها لبس المقنعة على الأحوط. On the basis of obligatory precautions, she should not wear the miqna'a. Why, Sayyidina? The way you have described, covering more forehead, covering more cheeks, covering the chin, you have covered most of the face. Okay? So if your miqna'a or maqna is different, that's another story. But you ask me in a question, your hypothesis, and you considered the makna with the description, which is not permissible. Let's say someone else asks question, the makna range is same like the hijab range. He will say it's permissible. Okay, which does not cover more part of the cheeks, which does not cover. But as I said, these technical definitions are more specific with women. They know better. But the question has asked the question in a way that the maqna or miqna, he has it, does cover significant part of the face. Okay. لا يجوز لها لبس المقنعة على الأحوط. وأما ستر الوجه بالعباءة فإن كان بإسدالها على وجهها على رأسها إلى ما يحاذي النحر مثلا فلا بأس به إذا كانت في معرض نظر الأجنبي. So basically, remember we said the rule of the nose, that the rule of the nose was with the other fuqaha until here. But Sayyid Sistani said, no, she can come all the way to her neck. Okay. So he gave adhar, he said, most apparent. So what about, like, should a woman, so can she do like that? Can she bring her abba and cover? Yeah, the rule is obvious. He mentioned you can use whatever to bring it down as a purpose of hijab. Okay, though it is covering the face. So you have covering the face and you have hijab. Hijab has more priority. Okay, if somebody is going to watch you and stare at you, then just wear the hijab, that bring a cloth down. Don't wear that makna which covers the, no, bring the whole thing as a loose thing. You see that the cloth, even if you don't wear a baseball cap, it's a loose thing. Okay, but hijab makna is something which covers the whole thing as a tight tight thing. So this kind of loose fitting loose fitting dress, or loose fitting abba, or loose fitting shela, or loose fitting chadar, you can drop it down. Then you uses this word, bring it down, drop it down. So that means it needs to be down and loose, not fixing it or not tightening it. So he says that it is not permissible for her to wear the maqna'a or maqna, the way which was described, on the basis of obligatory precaution, as long as it goes with covering the face with the aba. If it was by bringing it down, bi isdaliha, the word this isdal means bring it down. على وجهها, من على رأسها, from top of the head, bringing it down, إلى ما يحاذي النحر, equivalent to the level, equivalent to the neck. فلا بأس به, then there's no problem. إذا كانت في معرض نظر الأجنبي, if she was among the men and the men were staring at her and looking at her. And you'll tell me that, are the people here coming for Hajj or staring at women? Well, I mean, Shaitan is there. Shaitan's challenge is more stronger here in Makkah. He doesn't want people to perform the Hajj properly. Yeah, so Shaitan is everywhere. Shaitan is given a free card to free access to anywhere, except if you block the Shaitan by reciting the blockers such as Surat An-Nas and Isti'adha and those kind of things. That is a wall between you and Shaitan. Okay, that was ruling number one. If she was around men, okay, and they would look at her, so that means she can bring the whole thing down to her neck. Ruling number two. هل يجوز للمرأة المحرمة أن تستخدم النظارات ذات الألوان الداكنة حيث تحجب العينين وما حولها أو لا؟ You know, sometimes when they come to the Hajj and their spiritual expression, not all, I mean, even men are spiritual expressions and this and that, and then they wear the goggles, these big round goggles, you see, circle type, or they cover a lot of cheek area, face. So it's covering the face. The dark sunglasses. What he meant was sunglasses, the questioner, that can she wear those dark glasses, okay? نظارات ذات اللون الداكن, in a way that you cannot see the eyes and around the eyes. So he says it is not permissible to use such kind of goggles on the basis of obligatory precaution. So still we are in the zone of obligatory precaution when it comes to the covering the face area. If she really needs sunglasses because of medical reason, there are like decent small ones. She doesn't have to go those big goggles which cover half of their face or 1/4 of their face. Question number 3. هل يجوز للمرأة المحرمة ستر الوجه بأوراق الشجر? This is application to the ihtiyat we mentioned. We said some are commonly used objects when they cover their face. Some are not commonly used objects. لا يجوز على الأحوط. It is not permissible on the basis of obligatory precaution. We said it in the main text that common things, fatwa. Not things not common, piece of paper, tissue paper like that, obligatory precaution. Ruling number 4. عدم جواز ستر الوجه للمحرمة يبتني عندكم على الاحتياط، فلو أرادت المحرمة أن ترجع في هذه المسألة إلى فقه آخر يجيز ذلك، فهل بإمكانها بإمكانها استخدام الكمامات. Now, this ruling, the questioner has mixed two rulings together, ruling of the necessity and ruling in general ruling. So what he's trying to say that is it fatwa or ihtiyat? That means, let's say if a woman, she is facing like smoke and this smog and all those kind of things, which are junk coming out of the trucks and buses on the day of Arafat, Muzdalifah, Mina, and they blow on you sometimes when you're walking, and a puff comes of a black smoke, and they just like pollute your lungs in a way that I don't know how will you drain that thing out of your flush that thing out of your lungs. So it is very like after that, when you have sputums, they all come like with the black. I know you have a dinner or lunch wherever, but anyhow, so that is kind of thing that it's a disease. It's like it causes sickness. So he's asking, covering the face for the muhrima, the prohibition of covering the face for the muhrima. Is it an obligatory? Is it a precautionary measure you are using, Sayyidina, in a way that if a muhrima woman, she wants to refer to another marja, okay, she can refer to it based on this. But why? Why do you want to refer to another marja in this case? Is there necessity or just an option? If option, we can understand. But if necessity, you don't have to. الذي يستر جزءا معتدا so the mask, face mask. He says, so can he refer to someone else, giving her permissibility to use the face mask, which covers significant amount of the face from top of the nose, and it covers the mouth. So what is your opinion? That can she wear the niqab, which is prohibited based on your fatwa? So basically the question is about the niqab totally, that can she wear niqab which covers a significant amount of the face. He says الظاهر عدم صدق التنقب باستخدام الكمام على الوجه المتعارف. He says the mask is not considered covering the face in a way which is commonly known. Okay. نعم. الظاهر عدم صدق التنقب باستخدام الكمام. When you use kammam, it is not considered niqab على الوجه المتعارف, in a way which is known. Okay. So the urf also takes into the consideration what is urfi known to be something which covers and something which does not cover. So basically, he did not answer that it is a fatwa of ihtiyat because he already mentioned it's a fatwa. لا يجوز للمحرمة أن تستر وجهها بالبرقع أو النقاب. So instead of asking about covering the face with mask only, okay, then we will know that mask is because mask covers the face, but there's a necessity. So instead of having specific question about covering the fast, it went into fundamental issue. Okay, is it ihtiyat or is it fatwa? So obviously say there's a fatwa in ruling number 266. It's clear it's a fatwa. Ihtiyat is other than whatever is known to cover the face, like piece of paper. Those things are like not meant to do this purpose and they are used. So that he said obligatory precaution. And also another obligatory precaution was that she should not cover part of her face also, such as the the water bag strap or the band over the head, on those kind of things. Like these things he already had mentioned it. So let's move to the next one. Ruling number 5. هل يجوز للمحرمة أن تنشف وجهها بالمنديل? Remember there for the guys we had wiping the head. Here wiping the face with the towel. So the guys cannot cover the head while wiping the face. I mean head. The girls or the women, they cannot cover the face while wiping the face. after the shower, after the ghusl, after whatever, whenever they wash their face. So هل يجوز المرأة المحرمة أن تنشف وجهها بالمنديل؟ الأحوط تركه وإن كان بنحو المسح والإمرار ولم يستلزم تغطية تمام الوجه. This is obligatory precaution. They should avoid it. Even if it was not like covering the face, rather it was just wiping like parts of the face. وإن كان بنحو المسح والإمرار, like wiping and wiping here, wiping here, not like the way you do using sandpaper or whatever. Like not like this. This is covering the face. But if you do like this, you're passing it around. So if you're passing it around, if you're wiping your face by wiping and passing it around. So he says, al-ahwat tarko, on the basis of obligatory precaution, one should avoid it, even if it was by wiping and passing it around the towel. You wipe and pass around. You're not wiping the whole face once. The whole towel is not on your face, but you can't then have that even like partial wiping and moving it around. الأحوط تركه وإن كان بنحو المسح والإمرار ولم يستلزم تغطية تمام الوجه. The whole face was not covered, he says. So on the basis of an obligatory precaution, one should avoid, even if it was by wiping and passing it around. Wipe, bring here, pass, wipe, pass it over, wipe, pass it over, wipe, pass it over. So you're or wipe, pass it over, wipe, pass it over, wipe, pass. So it was wiping and passing it around. وإن كان بنحو المسح والإمرار ولم يستلزم تغطية تمام الوجه, and it did not require covering the entire face. Ruling number 6. المرأة المحرمة إذا أرادت أن تنزع خمارها فأدى ذلك إلى ستر وجهها خلال النزع فهل عليها شيء في ذلك؟ Okay. Let's say she was doing wudu. And while she was doing wudu, she was taking her khimar, her hijab away or her shela away, whatever she used to cover her head. She's taking it away and whoopsie daisy, it covers the face. فأدى ذلك إلى ستر وجهها. So that she wanted to remove the khimar, the scarf, the hijab. فأدى ذلك إلى ستر الوجه. While she was removing, it accidentally came on the face and covered the face while removing it. Is there any problem with that? He said, no, obviously, because the girl was not did not do it intentionally. هل يجوز المرأة المحرمة أن تنام على وجهها? Can she sleep on her face like the sleep of the devil or something like that, as it was mentioned in the narration? So sleeping on the face, like all the way on the face, because that covers the face. So is it permissible for women in ihram? This is ruling number 7. Muhrim woman to sleep on her face in a way that it will consider covering her face. He says yes, it is permissible. So we are ruling number 8. Question number 8. We are doing Q&As now. هل يجوز المحرمة أن تنشف بعض وجهها بمنديل وهل يجوز لها ذلك حال اضطرار ولو كما لو أصيبت بالزكام فاحتاج إلى تنظيف أنفها؟ This almost repeated question. Is it permissible for a muhrim woman to dry some of her face with handkerchief? And is it permissible for her to do same thing if she was under compulsion or under necessity? Okay. Um, yes. هل يجوز أن تنشف بعض وجهها بمنديل? Is it permissible for a muhrim woman to dry some parts of her face with the handkerchief? وهل يجوز لها ذلك حال الاضطرار? And is it permissible for her to do when it was the case of necessity? كما لو أصيبت بالزكام. Such as she got this common cold and sneeze and cough. فاحتاجت إلى تنظيف أنفها. So she's trying to now clean her nose because she has junks coming out of her nose. So he said الأحوط وجوبا on the basis of obligatory precaution. أن لا تنشف وجهها بالمنديل. She should not wipe her face with the handkerchief. Okay? She should not wipe her face with the handkerchief بالمنديل. وإن كان بنحو المسح والإمرار. Even if it was for the as it goes with wiping and passing over, wiping and passing over. Okay? Yeah. So he says الأحوط لها أن لا تنشف وجهها. Obligatory precaution. She should not cover her face. ولكن تنظيف الأنف as it goes for cleaning her nose or rinsing her nose with the tissue في حال الزكام in the state of زكام مثلا ليس من الساتر المحرم عليها. It is not from the prohibited concealing part, which is, it's not from that concealing part which is supposed to be prohibited from a woman, because men should also cover, women should cover. As in intellectual society, women they cover more. So Islam also, women they cover more, and men they cover less in the intellectual society when they go to beach or for example. So Islam also encourages them to be dignified and cover more parts of the body. But even if that part, for example, her face was not part of the body, I mean not the body, um, so her face, هل يجوز لها ذلك حال الاضطرار? Can she wipe her face in the case of necessity, such as we mentioned? He says on the basis of obligatory precaution لا تنشف وجهها بالمنديل وإن كان بنحو المسح والإمرار. On the basis of obligatory precaution, she should not wipe her face and pass it over, even though it was by wiping and passing it over. She should not do that on the basis of obligatory precaution. ولم يستلزم تغطية تمام الوجه ولكن تنظيف الأنف. So even if it was not covering the whole part of the face, she should not do that. You see, she should not wipe and pass over, wipe and pass over. No. الأحوط أن لا تنشف وجهها. On the basis of obligatory precaution, she should not wipe her face. وإن كان ذلك بدون المسح. إن كان بذلك بنحو المس والإمرار. Even if it was like wiping, and she should not do it, wiping and passing it over. ولم يستلزم تغطية تمام الوجه. And it would not cover the whole face. It's not permissible. Okay? To using handkerchief to cover parts of the face to dry it out. No. What about the rinsing the nose with the handkerchief? Obviously, you're covering the nose, which is part of the face, and it all comes out on the handkerchief. في حال الزكام, in the case of زكام, like common cold, مثلا, ليس من الستر المحرم عليها. So he says covering like this one, rinsing the nose with handkerchief, it is not the covering which is prohibited upon her. So we have ruling number 9. next slide we will do in our next session, and hopefully we don't have that much left. We will do in our next session and finish the Turuq al-Ihram, and then we've come with the meat part. Okay. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.